What's up, everybody? It's your boy Keefy with another GhostCultMag.com weekly ritual, our weekly rock and metal news live stream everywhere on the web, thanks to StreamYard, specifically best channels to watch us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. We're also hanging out on the Tick of the Talk. I'm just trying to get it to come up. I'll welcome all the TikTok people in just a second. But yeah, back for another one, weekend update style. This light is very bright on my side here. Hold on one second. Fixing the light. Too bright, too bright. Bright light, bright light. For you Gremlins fans. All right. Seems like a disaster is about to happen over there on the side of me. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. People are filing in. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Instagram, if you're watching on Facebook or TikTok, and this is your first time seeing our content, GhostCultMag.com, GhostCultMag.com, let me say the website right, is your 24/7, 365 rock and metal news live source with interviews with bands you care about, music festivals and concerts all over the world every day, metal news all the time, and we live, breathe, and eat and sleep this shit, as do you. So you want to keep it here where you're not sucking metal sucks. We are not injected metal injection. We are not full of goats, lamb goats. We are Ghost Cult. Got some comments already here. Gabe is here. What's up, Gabe? Again, sorry for that bum rushy message there. Thanks for being back and thanks for supporting. Sorry about all that. I've been just absolutely hammered. I have a life update in this one, which is kind of heavy for me. But it's, you know, it's time to share. So hopefully, looks like the Gram is not live and people are here on the Tick of the Talk. So I will welcome them both now. Baster is here. Hello on the Gram. And we're live finally on Instagram and on TikTok. So thank you for y'all showing up. I appreciate it. This is the Rock and Metal News Show. This is what we do. This is why we do what we do. Thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody. You could spend your time with anyone, but you're hanging out with us. The Till of the Talk, Till Lindemann. Yeah, the TikTok. We're still on TikTok. You know, as the kids do. But yeah, feel free to get in with your questions. Just really quick, let me bust in the menu. We accept tips. You can tip us if you like, but generally speaking, I still do these things for free. I will answer your questions and do all the things. I really need to update my graphic for this. That's also coming up in a second. But here's all of our things for the live stream menu, except for y'all on TikTok, which you won't get the benefit of this. But come on over to Twitch or YouTube if you want to get the full experience. And we'll answer all your questions still for free. But if you want to give us a tip, we will take your general support tips at any of our payment places like Cash App, Ko-fi, PayPal, and Venmo, generally speaking, at Ghost Cult Mag on all those things. And we will also, you can buy us a coffee for $6. We can rate your song. You can get a business consulting call with moi. I have worked in the music industry for a very long time, as well as a corporate social media and PR expert, especially if you ever have a crisis management. But here's where you can pay us. I will put up the deck. Here's another fun picture of me, if it works. Let's see. Yep, there I is. And here we go. Boom. Nope, I went too fast. But anyway, here's me with my "You Can't See Me, See No." Oh yeah, Macho Man. Hey, Missouri 4812. Haven't talked to you in a long time. I hope you are. Zarina's here. Stephen is here. Blackie Chan 888. Hello. Debbie Easterwood 727. Thanks for wishing us a good weekend. I wish you a good weekend. I did hear about Shapiro. Super sad. I have that at the top of the news coming up in just a few minutes. So sad. So shitty. Not to mention in that story, not only did, you know, people die in the plane crash we're going to talk about in San Diego, 15 homes and cars were set on fire. Ghost Cult's co-owner, Omar, my partner in crime and my co-owner here at Ghost Cult, his sons live in the San Diego area. So, you know, we don't want anything to happen to them, but apparently they're okay. So with that out of the way, again, we're still laughing about this look at this funny as hell AI version of me. That is not what I look like. But anyway, thanks AI for thinking that's what I look like. Let's make some announcements. And Christopher Hager, that is right. I'm about to talk about that also. All the things. But here's our menu one more time. And, just super important to note these things and what you can do to do, hug your loved ones, take care of each other. It's real tough out there. It's real tough out there, and then here's our Cash App. That's just the number one place we like to take payments, but we're here on Cash App if you want to share. Also, and of course, a super like or a super thanks or a super chat. It's literally a one button thing on the network here. So yeah, that is the deal. And that's the comments. I'll kill the banners off. Just a reminder to check out ghostcultmag.com, and we will put up the comments. And thanks again for being here, Gabe. So just a reminder, last week we got to 1.3 million views on YouTube. YouTube is kind of where all our long form content lives, our videos. Some of my live stream special events and things are happening there. And so, yeah, thank you for all the support. We could not be here without you. I appreciate you all. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hager, by the way. Hager, Debbie. But yeah, it's tough. I'm glad your dog is getting better. That's good news. We like the dogs. You'll see that we love the dogs. So this is interesting. So a little personal life update. I spent a lot of time last year and earlier this year talking about my personal health. About 15 months ago, I was in the hospital at this time. Not about to die, but very severely ill and very unwell. And so I've been kind of on a health journey. And I got some news today. I had my physical on Monday and I had some lab work yesterday. And the news is mixed. To be honest, I'm a little disappointed and bummed about myself, but I'm going to be okay. The short story is I'm going to be okay. A little bit of positive, a little bit of negative, but I have a long way to go. My mental health is better than it has ever been in years. I've got my right mix of meds for my mental health. I got great counseling in place. I got a lady that loves me. I'm feeling great about a lot of things, which is the positive part. The negative part is, unfortunately, my physical did not go as well as I had planned. So let's talk a little bit about that now. I'll blow this up on the screen. So since January, without actually trying that much, I've lost 10 pounds, which is good. I had actually expected it to be more. And, I'm glad it's, it's considering I feel like I've been very hungry and eating things that are not nailed down. Interestingly, hey, Meg Jacobs and Black Cat and Maybelline, thank you for being here. I appreciate you for liking us and following us. Feel free to give us whatever support you want to on TikTok, whatever that looks like, hearts, follows, subs, comments on our content. So I lost 10 pounds, and my blood pressure that I have been on blood pressure meds for that 15 months I mentioned is much better. I do suffer from diabetes. I do not have to take insulin shots, but I have a several diabetes medicines. And I think it's important to talk about this stuff. So my A1C, when I first went in the hospital 15 months ago, was like 11 plus, which is like very bad. And then I got it down to 7. And then it went back up about 6 months ago to 7.1. And this is my first blood work since then. Dirt McGurk is here. What's up, Dirt? Metalcore Solo Act. Yeah, absolutely great, Meg. We do a thing where we give a shout out to underground bands, sometimes underground, sometimes not, but mostly underground bands on our YouTube videos for our YouTube interviews. Go check out our any of our YouTube videos and see the description at the bottom on how to get mentioned in our videos. And then we give you, like, when we share the little clips of those videos on social media, we tag your band or your page if you have one, if that's interesting to you. We like to help support. So my A1C went up. That's the long story is it went up to 8. It's not that I'm eating sugary foods, although I do have a liquid death. This is the only sugar I actually have added sugar in my body ever. And these are going away anyway because Liquid Death is discontinuing this flavor and they switched to stevia from agave nectar. So that kind of sucks. But I don't know. I haven't put on weight, but I think I've been eating more and I'm not exercising as much, although I'm supposed to take 3 long walks a week. And I did walk back and forth to the Emperor show last weekend in San Francisco. So I have to, when I'm going away for a festival this week, and when I come back from that festival, I'm going to really buckle down on my eating a little bit more, and I have to exercise a lot more. And then my cholesterol is still actually quite high. I have been on, I have it here, basically Crestor. I have an empty bottle here. I'm about to pick up some more meds on my way out of town. And my cholesterol is still dangerously high. I don't have heart problems. I never smoked. I don't drink much anymore. I was a heavy drinker for a period of time, but not all the time. And so these are some concerns, and this is for accountability. I'm doing this for me, but also men of my age. I'm 52. I know I got a baby face, and people are like, 52? I am 52 years old. I will be 53 in September. Oh, you work in pharma. That's awesome. One of our favorite photographers is a pharmacist. I feel like I'm doing better, Megs. I just, it's just kind of scary. I've had a lot of death and major illnesses in my family, heart attacks and cancers and diabetes. So, the beatus, I feel better that I'm trying to get this. Thank you, Gabe. I do got this. I really appreciate you, man. Like I said, I got a great team around me. I have my friends. I have my girl. Life is not bad. It's getting better. It's been hard, but it's getting better. So I just wanted to, this is for my own accountability. I will follow up maybe after the summer with another one of these. If you don't care about this and I just spent 5 minutes talking about my personal shit, I am sorry. If you came here for music news, now is the time. Thank you for listening. Just 2 birthdays we made mention of this week. Christopher Hall of Stabbing Westward and Kenny Hickey today from Typo Negative and the supergroup Sun Don't Shine and his own group Silvertomb. Kenny, we love you. Christopher, we love you. For both former interviewees of Ghost Cult, and many happy returns, as we like to say. And then also today was World Goth Day, I think originally because it's Morrissey's birthday, but kind of fuck him. But we shared on social media a list of underrated goth and goth adjacent bands. So goth, post-punk, new wave, industrial metal, anything kind of remotely gothy. And I just put this list out. And if you've got a favorite goth or industrial metal band or a goth adjacent band you love, drop a comment below. But maybe you'll discover some new bands through this little list we put up on social. Seem to get a nice response everywhere. Yo, that one, how are you doing? Good to see you here. So yeah. And then this was just like, again, brain-breaking news today. This is so sad. I almost didn't want to talk about it, but yeah, of course we have to. Daniel Williams, the former drummer of The Devil Wears Prada from 2005 to 2016, died in a plane crash today. It wasn't officially originally confirmed too soon. This is along with the Daniel Shapiro news, by the way, Sarina. Yeah, man, fuck Morrissey. But anyway, this is just some terrible news. Shapiro had been piloting his private plane. Shapiro is a music agent and managed some of the biggest bands in the world and a generally all around well-liked, nice guy. I never met him. I think we met Daniel once at a Mayhem festival, and we met the whole band. And, just my heart goes out to their families. And as I said, other people in the plane died. We don't have their names yet. Their homes on fire in the San Diego area, in residential San Diego. So, very tough stuff today. Very heavy hearts out there. And I am so sorry to hear about this stuff. And again, Dave Shapiro was the head of the Sound Talent Group, managed many, many bands, booked many, many bands, repped many, many bands. And just generally, the music industry, is, as I often say, it's the music business, not the music friendship. But this guy was apparently a true friend to people, not just a shark of a business guy. And then this was another one, again, like some of our artists of a certain age are getting, older and older, and, like we're just losing people left and right. And it's just tough, you know, like I don't have all the words for everybody that's passing away. So like really love and love and respect and follow your artists and keep your friends and family close, because I'm hearing a lot of very difficult stuff out there where people are just, kind of leaving us. And so I don't want to, miss it to talk about these things, but we're losing people all the time, and I just want everybody to just kind of like pay attention. If you're like, oh, I'll catch that band the next time, I've been guilty of this, I'll catch the band the next time, and then I just completely brain fart what I'm supposed to do, and I don't go see the band. So just keep following your bands and keep them close. And then this, obviously, earlier this week, Adam Ramey of Dropout Kings from Arizona passed away. We don't know why. Young guy, 32. There's a GoFundMe helping to raise money for his wife and child. Young guy, decent band, sort of new metal. Arizona's got a very, Phoenix and Tempe and the general Arizona area has a very fertile music scene that's very tight-knit. And we're sorry about this guy's loss also. And then, yes, there you go, Christopher Hager, originally of Rough Cut and other bands. He died. A lot of people wrote about this guy. Just a consummate professional. So very sad to hear about all these losses around the music world. And then again, yesterday was the 9th anniversary, hard to believe, the 9th anniversary of the passing of Nick Mason. This picture makes me alternately happy and sad. Nik Menza. I got Pink Floyd on my brain. Hey, Curtis is here, my best friend in the world. Curtis, I don't know if you caught the little health update I gave about my numbers from the lab. They're not great. They're okay. My A1C went up a little bit, and my cholesterol still pretty damn high, even with the meds. So I'm a little worried, but I'll be okay. But anyway, Nik Menza, this photo was taken at NAMM 2016. Nick would pass away on stage doing what he loved. Had a heart attack playing drums at the Baked Potato, which is was an LA area club. Not sure if it's still there. Maybe still is. Just Joe's passing by. What's up, Just Joe? Huge fan, as you know, of Brand New Sin. Miss you. Miss that band. But yeah, Nik Menza passed away 9 years ago yesterday. There's a documentary coming out from his former bandmate, David Ellison's film company. This Was My Life. And this photo was taken by our own Melina Delamargio at NAMM. And so Nick passed away in May, and Melina passed away that August. So it's always very sad when I love this photo, but it also makes me, reminds me of her a bit. So, never far from our hearts and minds. Moving on, just another reminder that this week was also the anniversary of the passing of Chris Cornell, and the members of Soundgarden, especially Ben Shepherd, who doesn't do much with the media, went and posted about Cornell on his own social media that he doesn't do much. And he was like, I'm waiting to pick up my kid from school. And I had this thought, like, I miss Chris and what he did for us. And hey, Concept Cafe is here. As you can see, if you're watching behind me, when I get the screen back on with me on it, I still have my setup here from the interview. I had some band interviews earlier today. I have travel coming up in a few hours, so my bed is kind of a wreck right now, but it kind of looks cool. Yeah, Kurt, we're gonna get it all set, man. I already talked to Melissa about it too, so we're gonna be okay. It's only up a whole point. It's not great, but it's still lower than it was when I went in the hospital a year ago. So it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I know what I need to do, which is great. Okay, back to me. More me. Let's see. Me too. There we go. And just a reminder, we're raising funds for our friend Lisa Mann. She had a terrible knee injury and recovery and leg injury, and we'll put everything in our description where you can support her. She's a celebrated blues artist. She's an incredible metal singer on her own project, White Crone, as well as Splintered Throne. It's not supposed to rhyme, but it kind of does. And yeah, we're trying to just help go to visit her socials, buy something from her Bandcamp. Anything helps. Punk Coco is here. JMac FM is here. Crazy Hell Records is here. How are you doing? Fertilizer came by. Thanks. We're just doing all the things. Yep, apple cider vinegar. I only use extra virgin olive oil and no other cooking things. And apple cider vinegar, I might start taking the pills again. I had not been taking them. And then just because we like fun things, and fun things are fun, and again, we love dogs. This is our buddy Django. He's here with Necro Butcher of Mayhem. They were both on their way to kill Euronymous. Should have killed Varg instead. And we are trying to get signatures for Django to get sainthood from the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence in San Francisco. There's a change.org. Just look at Django, like Django Reinhardt, or Django Unchained, DJANGO. And, just we're trying to help our pupper get something fun and some recognition. So we're trying to get those signatures up. And okay, that was long-winded, but now we're going to blast through the features because I got to get out of Dodge. When these liquid deaths run out, I'm never drinking liquid death again except the water, because they changed the formula and it pisses me off. Just a reminder, thanks for everybody who entered our giveaway for punk rock bowling tickets. Punk rock bowling is this weekend. Festival coverage is coming up in a few seconds, but we just put this up front. Punk rock bowling, thank you so much for partnering with Ghost Cult. Our own Wayne Edwards is going to cover it one more time for Ghost Cult, and I'm really excited about his coverage. Great lineup, great band, great after shows, super killer. Features and interviews this week at Ghost Cult. Our own Tom Osmond, our managing editor who runs our reviews team, is also a fantastic interviewer. And he interviewed one of my favorite artists of all time, Jarboe, in the original French dialect. She used to perform with Swans. She has been a celebrated solo artist for 30 years. There's a lot of reissues happening right now with her current record label. And so Tom interviewed Jarboe all about her new reissue, her whole career. She worked with Philip Anselmo. I don't think a lot of people know that she worked with Phil on a song once, and a lot of other stories about all her different vocal stylings over the years and some of her tour stories. So really great in-depth interview with an artist I love a lot. So, that makes me super happy. Also this week, my interview, once again, I was pleased and honored to talk to Ricky Warwick. You know Ricky best from Thin Lizzy and Black Star Riders and The Almighty. If you go back to the 80s, he kind of crosses punk, hard rock, and singer-songwriter stuff. Ricky is wonderful. We talked to him from his house he's working on in Dublin. He kind of looked like he was in witness protection, but just a great guy. Technically, he spends his time between LA and Ireland, and he's got a new solo album out, Blood Ties, on Earache Records, that is phenomenal. And I just always love talking to this guy. I met him in person, and he remembered that interaction years later when we started to do interviews again. So I've been very lucky to talk to him several times, and what a great guy. Also, Bobby Ferry from the sludge doom band 16. We caught up with him earlier in the year, right before their new record, which is out now on Relapse Records, Guides for the Misguided. Don't miss it and check it out. Also, we ran an extra interview over the weekend with the band Enemy Inside from Germany, kind of extreme metal, modern metal, not too far off from a Ginger or a Lamb of God. Really cool band. Capable of a lot of things. I think there's a lot of cool things in front of them. Sean is here. What up? What up? Just Me is here. Hey, Just Me passed by. Thanks, Just Me. Just Me is an everydayer and a regular one, and I appreciate you for passing by. Malachi, the mod, is here. Also cool. Fertilizer also passed by. I think I mentioned that earlier. All these shows will be a podcast. Ghost Cult. We have a podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. So this show is going to be a podcast over the weekend. And just stay tuned. A lot of cool stuff's coming up, and we have some exclusive content on the podcast as well. And because I don't have enough to do, I am the co-host of the Glacially musical Pouredcast. Beer, metal, swear, vinyl, hard rock, NHL hockey sometimes, pop culture references, fights. The host is Nick Cameron. I'm one of the co-hosts, Keefe. The other co-host is Don Delamont from Talking the Talk with Don, another excellent podcast. And we are in the middle of our series on Heart Early Records. The one most people know is the first one. This is probably their second most popular record, Little Queen. They look like they're at the Ren Fair on the album cover. Check out all we talked about on, this week. And in case you missed last week's special Chaser episode, we unboxed and reviewed the Pink Floyd documentary, live album, live video, concert experience, Live at Pompeii. Lived in mythology and bootlegs for decades. released in the 70s and now finally back out. It had a little run in the movie theaters. I missed it. I'm pretty mad, but I've been watching it on demand a bit on a loop. Bill Matheson is also here, or Matheson, not sure. But yeah, check out our last episode on Pink Floyd, If Heart Is Not For You. And for the next series, we're going to get it back to other more current bands. But we love Heart. All right, that was all the pre-stuff, and now it's time for the news rundown. And we always start the news rundown with festivals. As we said, Punk Rock Bowling is this weekend, starts tomorrow. Maryland Death Fest started today. Welcome back, Maryland Death Fest. So glad to be back the last couple of years. They've already announced next year. I might have to get back to the East Coast for this next year, but hopefully sooner. Also Bottle Rock Napa. This is the festival I'm actually going to. I know it seems weird. We've covered it a few times before. Green Day, Sublime, Public Enemy, E40, Justin Timberlake. Not always my exact cup of tea musically, but I'm excited about this weekend. Great food, nice craft beer and drinks. I probably won't have many or any. And just a very chill and very pampering experience as a music journalist. I have slogged it out in the dirt and the sweat and the stink with many of the great unwashed masses of metalheads and rockers. And I am your people and you are my people. And I love you, but sometimes you just need the pinkies out and the fun experience. So Bottle Rock Napa this weekend. I will be there all weekend. If you happen to see me, say hello. Boston Calling is also this weekend, and I kind of feel like these lineups have kind of fallen off a little bit in recent years, but this weekend, Luke Combs, Megan Maroney, Sheryl Crow, T-Pain, TLC, Fall Out Boy, Avril Lavigne, Cage the Elephant, Black Crowes, All Time Low, Dave Matthews Band, Vampire Weekend, also Sublime, also Public Enemy, so they're going to fly across the country several times. Tom Morello is here, Goth Babe is here, Spin Doctors, wow, I didn't even know they were touring, that's cool. So, yeah, Boston Calling, not sure what's going on there, but seems like less and less rock and more pop and country. Future Ruins Festival, which is the festival Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails has put out and is coming this November. The tickets went on sale yesterday for the pre-sale. Tickets are on sale now. For the regular tickets, I think the average ticket was $300 a piece, and then the VIP was starting at $500. So right this second, I'm not going. I might like to still go. We'll see what things look like for me later in the year. And I don't know if they're doing press coverage because we haven't heard anything about it. Tied Down Festival is announced. Turnstile, I got to say, I really love this era of Turnstile where they're just, without even responding to people, they're just doing so much true school hardcore shit. They, obviously they're immensely popular, headlining festivals and headlining commercial festivals, playing the main stage at Lollapalooza and having a song in Taco Bell's food commercials. And then, they get announced for Tie Down, which is one of the best hardcore festivals there is, coming up next weekend. So super cool, just announced. And then, they did like a free show in Baltimore and raised money for charity. And also it was like kids stage diving and playing like an old school set. So they didn't forget where they came from. Also at Tie Down Fest, we'll talk a little bit more about this next week, but American Nightmare Foundation, a band called Speed Fiddlehead, Judge from my hometown, The Hope Conspiracy, Trial, Gridiron. This is pretty badass. Regional Justice Center. Awesome. We'll talk more about it. We'll get a little deep in the woods on it next week. Also, speaking of hardcore, Black and Blue Bowl is coming back this weekend with Suicidal Tendencies, E-Town Concrete, Vespid, Negative Force, Vietnam, Nam Nam, and NYC Shootout, and a bunch of other bands. So there you go. And also coming up this weekend, the Bfdfest from 97.1 The Eagle, featuring Chevelle and Marilyn Manson with POD, Evans Blue, Sleep Theory, and Stabbing Westward, and many more to be announced in Dallas, Texas. That is hella cool, and I love me some Stabbing Westward. Once again, happy birthday, Christopher. Danny Man is here. What's up? What's up? Thanks for everybody that's watching on all the things. I appreciate you. It's good stuff. We are on the cusp of the next Warped Tour. I don't know that we're covering any of these. I'm really not that motivated right now to go down to Long Beach for this, but a bunch of bands did just get added, including Gore and Motionless in White. So that's super cool. And, Warped Tour is getting a little bit metal in Florida, and then we'll see how the rest of them do. But, this is apparently just the beginning of Warped Tour's return. Arctangent Fest announced their final headliner for this fall's festival. Godspeed you, Black Emperor. You have to read it with the correct punctuation. Also headlining Ghost Cult favorites were Truna, Leprous, Melvins, Arab Strap, We Lost the Sea, Kylisa, Carnival, Mew, Green Lung, Maybe She Will, Envy, Tesseract, Clowncore, Rolo Tomasi, and Between the Buried and Me, among others. Some playing multiple sets. I think Pelican is on here also. Lost in Kiev. Pretty great festival. We covered it last year. We'll be covering it again, I hope. Also coming up this summer, Burnfest Open Air in Slovakia. What an interesting festival. This is Aeonian, Sorrow, Ions, Silent Scream, and of Godless Elegy, Slow Fall. Such a cool, interesting, eclectic lineup here. Bands, make your logos a little more legible so I can read these off easier, because I'm not wearing my glasses right now because they'll reflect in the light. Shiprock got announced for 2026, headlined by a special on-ship performance of Hailstorm to start the show, along with Motionless in White, Knocked Loose, Boy, Knocked Loose is everywhere, Wage War, AWOL Nation, Suicidal Tendencies, Avatar, Starset, Sleep Theory, Ashes to New, Kitty, 68, Archetypes Collide, Dinosaur Pile Up, The Funeral Portrait. I love House of Protection, Unity TX. I love that this is going to be Greek themed, like Greek mythology themed, and they use like the Greek diner font in the poster. And there's Poseidon, or I guess Zeus with a lightning bolt. Poseidon's got a trident. Sorry, everybody. Okay, this is fun. Sublime, who are headlining all these festivals and doing a tour starting this weekend. I will see them tomorrow. Fear and Loathing and Sublime in Las Vegas, taking over late August at the Park MGM. The Vandals, the Ataris, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, bunch of other bands, activations and hangouts with the bands, and all kinds of other fun things. Sublime, good for them. Good for Jacob Knoll. I'm super excited to see them this weekend. Also prepare. The Ground is coming. That is the basically new North American road burn, and this is in Toronto, and a lot of bands are playing there coming up this weekend. So very exciting stuff. Also coming up this summer, Incarceration Festival. We'll be bringing you more news on this soon, and hopefully getting back out there to cover it. I mentioned this recently. Maryland Doomfest is fast approaching, about less than a month away, and it is going to be the last Maryland Doomfest. So please come out if you can and support them, and hopefully they'll continue to release, book other shows, or maybe come back someday. Also, just a reminder, Bloodstock Open Air that we cover every year. They are still doing a 20% off ticket buy with EMP, their principal merch sponsor. Their principal sponsor, EMP, is a huge merch company in Europe. Piercing Ken is here from Piercing Metal NYC. Please go follow him on all the things. Thanks, Ken. It was good talking to you earlier. I did the very come to Jesus-y, I'm not, I'm okay, but I could be doing better slide at the beginning of this show, in case you missed it, where I talked about my numbers. Also, again, Night Shift Party Weekend is coming up in September, and this looks sick. I love seeing a Red Chord and Fuming Mouth and Incantation all on the same bill. That's awesome. Concert time. That was all the festivals. Now it's time for concerts. I'm sure there's some more. We're getting into the woods on these summer. Hellfest is coming up. Download is coming up. Wacken Open Air is coming up. Ghost Cult is a principal media sponsor of the battle for Wacken, the Wacken Battle Metal Battle of the Bands all over the world. We are a media sponsor. Our logo is on their posters and stuff and on their site. So that's kind of cool. Jared is here. Metallica, boy, just when you start going to sleep on them, I was convinced they will not be on the road next year, but they will be, because they announced 2026 M72 shows. Hopefully they're going to make a new record in here somewhere. Maybe not. This could be it. I don't know. They're doing Europe. One night only in a bunch of cities: Athens, Bucharest, Chorzów, Zurich, Berlin, Bologna, Glasgow, and Cardiff, Wales. And then they're doing the no-repeat weekends in Frankfurt, Budapest. You and I remember Budapest very differently, Black Widow. Dublin and London. Curtis, maybe that's our time to go to Dublin and see Metallica in Dublin next June. I don't know. That'd be kind of badass. And so for these Main shows, I'm just going to hide these comments for a quick second. For these main shows, the one night onlys, it's Gojira and Knocked Loose. And for the no repeat weekends, it's Pantera and Avatar. I think this is fantastic. First of all, phenomenal news for Avatar and Knocked Loose. But really cool to get Gojira back with Metallica. They toured together previously in the past. So yeah, and then also Metallica continues their touring this weekend. They're in Philadelphia tomorrow and Sunday, Tampa, Santa Clara out here by me. Don't think I'm going right now. Denver. I think we still have Charlotte, Atlanta, and Houston to go on this tour. Wrapping up on June 29th. Also, more fallout from the Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine drama. Seems like Bullet for My Valentine is just going to go back in the studio and have to make up these tour dates in 2026. Trivium is going to book additional shows and kind of try to complete the tour. But what a bummer. Again, it's hard to, but some of these tours are booked years in advance, and hey, we used to get along, and maybe now we don't get along. I don't know what happened there, but we continue to hear public and private rumblings about this stuff. Also, just in case you missed it, Sean Kinney of Alice in Chains, he's another person. He rarely uses social media. He put a statement out through the band and his own social media like Instagram and said, "Hey, I'm going to be okay. Nobody hates canceling the show more than me. I could not go. The doctor said I could not go. We hate to cancel a tour. I will be back, and we will try to make it up to fans, but there's no rebooking these shows right now." But he does feel bad. But he's also people get sick. What are you going to do? We don't know yet if Alice in Chains, that means they will not be at the Black Sabbath show in July. They're supposed to be at the Farewell Black Sabbath and Ozzy show. We shall see. Again, System of a Down is touring all of South America and continues to share this drone footage. I don't know how they let people into festivals in other countries with fireworks like Roman candles and flares and giant sparklers, but apparently they were all over the place in this video. And we are fast approaching the System of a Down arena shows, stadium shows. It's incredible. It's football stadiums in America. Last couple of weekends of the AC/DC High Voltage tour, they had to cancel their show this week in Nashville due to inclement weather, unsure of the makeup date. They have a couple of more shows to go this weekend, Chicago and Cleveland next week, before they put a pin in it for now. We shall see. Looks like I'm getting a notification that my scripts are ready to pick up. I will get them on my way out of town. Lorna Shore dropped a new single and video, announced a brand new album, and Black Dahlia Murder, Shadow of Intent are all opening. Holy cow, what a tour. And they're doing big venues, amphitheaters and things. This is after Lorna Shore has opened for Mastodon and Gojira and Lamb of God for a whole year. Dillinger Compound has arrived. Aren't you excited? I am excited. No, I am Dillinger. I am excited. I did do a personal health update at the beginning, and I did talk about a lot of the festival and things that are pursuant to your interest, but hang out. Maybe there'll be more. Jerry Cantrell dropped a new music video today and announced more I Want Blood tour dates with Filter. These are going to be the last dates of the year for Jerry. Again, probably no more Alice in Chains shows except the England show for Black Sabbath and Ozzy, if they can make it. Maybe only Jerry can make it, but this is a cool-looking run later in the year, going all the way across the country, not coming to my town, but going from San Diego all the way to the East Coast and the Midwest. Supposedly the last shows ever: Oceano, Rose Funeral, Filth, Larcenia Row, and Inferius. There was a lot of drama about this tour. JC and Puciato. Yep, is Dillinger. That is true. That is true. That is true. I just meant like the festival appearances specifically to Dillinger, but you are correct, sir. Greg. I'm excited to see Greg again. Unleash the Archers has a couple of UK shows. They were just there a while back, late last year, and now they're back again for a couple of shows in the UK before they head off to Europe to do festivals. Very excited for them. The Juno award-winning Canadian power and heavy metal and thrash metal band that we've interviewed before. Yob's got a couple of tour dates coming up later this year, circling around Desert Fest Antwerp in Belgium. Last we talked to Yob about a year ago, we talked to Mike Scheidt, and he said they really hadn't started working on music yet, but I am hopeful. Scooter's here. What's up, Scooter? Scooter, I gave a very mixed health report on myself to start the show. I just told that to Dillinger and Ken and Curtis. All the everydayers and regular ones are here, and real ones. I appreciate you. And the news is mixed. My A1C is up. My cholesterol is up. My blood pressure is better. My weight is down a little. So much work to do to start the summer. But I'm going to be okay. I got some new kicks. I can walk anywhere. I'm going to get it together. Again, make sure you catch Jesus Lizard in Europe and Japan. I just saw them here in the States, and they were amazing. I was really surprised how enjoyable it was. Scooter is here also on this place. He's here too. It's Scooter, the man, the myth, the legend. Some interesting stuff. Take baby aspirin. Yeah. Fucking Bayer. Fucking poisoners. But anyway, yeah, I know. I need a baby aspirin. Fun fact. I was just kind of scrolling the doom scroll along, and I saw that Tankard has not played in England in like forever. And fans were bitching at them because they've been announcing shows in the rest of Europe. And they were like, why in the F aren't you coming to England? And so the band responded. We actually haven't gotten a good offer, like an actual respectable offer for money to come to England in a long time. And remember that because of the Brexit, right, the exit of Britain from the EU, there are tariffs and there are fees and there are visa requirements that bands have to pay to go between the two countries. Used to just be able to go freely everywhere, and now there's all kinds of rules and extra money, just like it's going to be hard in coming years for European bands to come here and Scandinavian bands to come here, and for our bands to go overseas. It's going to be much more hard and difficult and expensive, but just fun to see the bands being honest, transparent. Hey, we actually haven't gotten a real legitimate offer to come over there in a long time. I wish someone would. Sorry. Complain to your promoters. And then just for some fun, War. The band War. Why Can't We Be Friends? Lowrider. The song War. Slipping into Darkness. They are on a 50th anniversary tour this summer, starting off in Dublin and rolling through the major cities in Western Europe. Super cool. Also, Devin Townsend's last few shows of this week. Tomorrow in LA. Devin is then going on an indefinite touring hiatus, and he'll keep putting out music, but he is not going to tour any longer. So I hope you had your chance to see him. Also, An Evening with Testament is wrapping up by the end of this weekend. Heard great things about this tour, playing all of Practice What You Preach, and I hope they do this again or continue to honor that anniversary. I've got the vinyl here somewhere. Celeste is here. Hi, Celeste. Thanks for passing by. Sessanta is also rambling on. We'll be covering it soon in Milwaukee. Just a reminder, we're more than halfway through the show. This is our tip menu. If you want to tip us for some general support, you can send us $3. You can buy us a coffee on Ko-fi. You could become a real one. You could get me to rate your song. You could set up a business consulting call with me about your band, your record label, your music store, anything related to heavy music, or just in general business. I'm your guy. I am a digital marketing strategist and social media community manager expert, and also crisis PR. Just a reminder, that's awesome, man. I hope the show was great. How was that? We heard great things. We had one of our spies at the New York show. Just a reminder, when you see ads at ghostcultmag.com, that is through the grace of lambgoat.com. You know them. That Lambgoat is the meaner, nastier version of Ghost Cult, and we're part of their advertising network, along with Metal Insider, This Day in Metal, New Metal Agenda, and Anthony Fantano, the busiest reviewer in the internet. And also, because if you're watching this anywhere but TikTok, you are seeing this through the grace of StreamYard. If you want to be cool like me and stream like me, sign up for the link in the description. We get $10 off our next bill. You get $10 off signups. Do it now. Absolutely incredible. I expect nothing less. Devin is a hero. He's amazing. He's a hero of mine. Tesseract's always good too. I don't think I could ever play barefoot on some of these stages that are gross and grody, like my man there, Amos, but not me. But yeah. All right, we're on all the things. Twitch, Threads, Blue Sky, Discord, Reddit. Find us there. All the things. Okay. News of the week. 3 weeks after Ghost had the #1 record in 4 or 5 countries and had the most records sold by a hard rock band in 4 years, That record was already beaten by Double by Sleep Token. People either love or hate this band, just like Ghost. They wear masks, just like Ghost. They are commercially viable and acceptable heavy metal, related, adjacent, just like Ghost. I personally like the new album. A lot of people are hating on it. Is it their best album? Hardly no, but it's pretty solid. And they sold a mind-breaking 122,000 physical copies of Even in Arcadia, their brand new album. Holy cow. The paradigm has shifted, and we're in a new era, folks. This is your new guard of metal, for better or worse. Tell me how you feel about that. And shocking news that hit last weekend, last Friday, the Foo Fighters fired Josh Freese, one of the most decorated, celebrated, and busiest drummers in the world. You know him from the Vandals, which he's been in since he was a teenager. He's also in A Perfect Circle. He's also been in Devo, which I saw him play live with. He's incredible. And he was a great addition. I saw one of his first shows with Foo Fighters at Riot Fest 2023, and he was amazing. But he was called and let go with no reason given, and then he gave a top 10 reasons why he was let go. And I think the first one was the funniest one. He was like, I whistled My Hero for a week straight nonstop, which is like a very Josh thing to do. But he'll be fine. He's going to get, he's busy, and he's going to get another job soon, and he's probably playing that Vandal show, opening up for Sublime in Vegas this summer. So I don't think he cares. It was a good paycheck, I'm sure. Probably the best paycheck he's ever gotten in his life. Also, a lot of you are falling for scams on social media. Netflix is not making documentaries about a lot of metal films, but one metal film that is getting made, a documentary about a metal band that is happening, is Judas Priest. Pearson, Ken is going to jet. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate you being here. We'll talk to you. Yep. Congrats on 15 years on the brand, on that channel. Mike says, fuck Sleep Token. All right, fair enough. Tell me if you like or hate them. Yep, Black and Blue this weekend, Dillinger. We talked about that just a second ago. Also Dillinger related. So Judas Priest got a documentary coming out, co-directed by Sam Dunn and Banger Films, and Tom Morello, who loves Judas Priest, as you know. So, good stuff. Good stuff there. That is actually happening. Unlike a lot of documentaries where you see fake profiles post things that are not real news. You can only get real news from Ghost Cult. Lisa's here. And Lisa, we are still supporting you and trying to encourage people to follow all your things and buy something from you to help your recovery. I hope you're getting along well, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon for some new music in the near future, or as soon as possible for you. But please keep healing up and getting better. We love you. You can't love everyone. You're not supposed to have favorites, but Lisa's one of my favorite people there is, I have to say. Nova Twins have a new single out, new album coming soon. They just had a new album last year. Prolific young band, hopping around on crutches. Well, I hate to see the other guy, but But yeah, Nova Twins' new single, new album coming soon. Guns N' Roses had one of the best cell phones I have ever seen in my entire life this week. Last weekend, Guns N' Roses played India for the first time in 15 years, and Axl promptly fell right on his face on stage. And by Monday, Guns N' Roses' official account put a compilation of like 2 years of stage falls by Axl. People pick on these guys for getting older and still getting up there. I saw GNR twice in the last 10 years since this reunion started, and they were phenomenal. Maybe they weren't always phenomenal for everybody that saw them. Can Axl sing as good as he did when he was 30 or 20? No, but he's still pretty solid, hits all the notes. The band is fantastic. Be interesting. They're on tour with their brand new drummer, Isaac Carpenter. So yeah, Axl, if you want to see something funny, go to GNR on Instagram and watch Axl fall on his face and his ass and off the stage like 100 times. Probably not funny for you, Lisa, after you got hurt. Ben Whiteman will be performing at E-Town. Oh, that's sick. That's great. I hope so. It's like watching NASCAR for the crashes. That's right. Wipeout. Marty Freeman is going to be putting out his recent memoir that I interviewed him about last year as an audiobook, and in English and Japanese. So stay tuned for that. Marty continues to tour, make great solo albums, and I just feel very lucky that I got to chat with Marty after all these years. I met him once back in the day, and now I got to interview him, and that was really killer. Becoming Led Zeppelin continues to break every record. It's still somehow in theaters. They're still having IMAX showings, and it's on demand and streaming and video on demand wherever you are in your different countries. But there's a special screening in June with the director and the producer. They're going to watch the film and have a Q&A with them about the experience. Maybe members of Zeppelin will show up. No guarantees, but could be cool. Also, this is Delilah Bon, a brand new and up-and-coming artist who's got a new single out and a new album coming soon. Look at this cool sort of half microphone stand that kind of looks like a weapon. I don't know if it's a spoiler. I don't know if it's like ripped off of Jonathan Davis's microphone, H.R. Giger microphone thing, but yeah, pretty cool. Morrisound Recording, the legendary Florida studio that made every great death metal album you love from Tampa or bands that relocated to Tampa got memorialized with a historic county marker in Florida this week. There was a ceremony and everything. It was really cool. You can see the video. Very cool. Nik Nocturnal, if you're into YouTubers who do stuff, I have said repeatedly that I think the age of the influencer is going to start fizzling out, and it's going to fizzle out first in the places where it's not as ubiquitous. Like, we have our own little culture of influencers, and I'm not knocking them. I just think people are tired of them. So Nik Nocturnal, who is a great musician and started by doing, covers and songs and style, metalcore and how to make a metalcore song in 30 seconds or whatever, became a humongous celebrity, had the Nik Nocturnal Awards. He has finally hit his limit and his wall, and he's taking a permanent hiatus from making content and being an influencer and being on YouTube. His channel is going to change. He's not going to have this kind of content anymore, but he did put out a brand new EP of unreleased songs with a bunch of metalcore celebrity singers, which is also fun. But I like Nik. I got to interview Nik also, and he was really great to us, and I really appreciate him for everything he's done. And it'll be interesting to see him just make music in bands for a while and just do guitar content. Maybe Neck Deep's got a new single out. If You Could See Me Now, that's pretty killer. They have some touring coming up too. Oh, I went too fast. Chevelle has dropped the full formal video for their new single. Their new album's coming up soon. They're playing all the things. I mentioned some festivals they're on earlier. Fugitive's got a new song out. This is members of Power Trip and other bands, and they signed a new record deal, and I think we're going to get, there's some very substantive rumors that Power Trip is going to sign a record deal soon and put out a new album, at least later this year or early this year. We'll see how people feel about it. Maddie Matheson's Pigpen band was on Hardlore. Maddie, is a tried and true hardcore kid. He talked about how he was a hardcore music fan first before he got into chef school and fine food and things. And now his band is on the rise. So I'm very excited for their new EP to come out. Here's COC with their first new band photo since Mike Dean left the band. This is with Stanton Moore of Galactic, who's working on this new record. And when they shared this, I love this like Southwestern sweater that Pepper is wearing. Pepper continues to get like older and better looking, like a wizard. He's insane, right? But I love this. And so fans were asking, is Stanton going to do the entire tour? And he said select date. So I don't know if that means they have another drummer in the works, if they are going to go back to their former drummer, John Green, who's in the UK. It might be hard for him to get over here. I'm not sure. But, COC is going on the road with Cooper and Priest and all these festivals and things. And a new COC record, at least one new song, will probably be coming out in the fall. And we will get a new record probably in early first quarter 2026, I am guessing. Also, Black Flag announced a new lineup last weekend. We were talking about rumors. I didn't want to post anything that I couldn't prove, but I knew for a long time that Black Flag's lineup was done, and it's just Greg Ginn left. So the internet will never let you forget. And here's one of the worst commercials and worst scam things of all time is 1-877 Cars for Kids. The money does not go to kids. I'll just put it there. And so this picture of little kids in the TV commercial is the new Black Flag, right? With the SST logo and an old school press photo. How funny. How funny. The Jiggy Wizard is here. What's up, Jiggy Wizard? Alrighty. All right. We're almost done here, folks. Dropkick Murphys continue to troll. And this is a picture of Dropkick Murphys. I don't like AI that much, but here's an AI version of Muppet or Sesame Street character Dropkick Murphys. And they shared this post to remind people that PBS has never hurt your kids, has only helped your kids. NPR has only helped educate and inform people. And this kind of government attack on the media is fucking dumb. End of point. End of rant. I agree. Worst song ever. I mean, maybe the worst song. Worse than Friday. Worse than Gangnam Style. Worse than anything I can remember, including Anything I Hate by Journey. Oh my God, that song. And their Scammers on top of everything else. Nova Twins. Thank you, Blackie Chan. I appreciate that. The health stuff's important. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate you. You're absolutely right. It is the most important thing. So I don't feel like I completely backslid because I did lose some weight and my blood pressure is getting better because they did not increase my blood pressure medicine, but there will be an increase of my my diabetes medicine is going to be tweaked. So maybe it helps. Also, speaking of bands reuniting, this is Sensanium. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And this is the band that was once led by Joey Jordison, late of Slipknot. He died 4 years ago now. God damn it. And they put out a new single this week. They have a new album coming out. And I got to tell you, the single, and this is a super group of people anyway, even without Joey. They have Joey's former student and drum tech as the drummer. And it has it's Sean from Goth and Attila Shar from Mayhem on guitar. And I mean, it's just an unbelievable band. This is their new record that's coming out soon. And I'll tell you, if the rest of this record is like this one song, this will be one of the albums of the year, like top 5, top 10, certainly top death metal records of the year. Absolutely. Go check this single out. The Devastation is the single and the album title. Here's just a fun meme here with Nigel Tufnell at the doctors. I'm afraid it's worse than tendinitis, Mr. Tufnell. It's 11-dinitis. These go to 11, and so does my illness, and my light just went out. But okay, I still look pretty pinkish here in the background. All right, we're almost done, folks. CDs still matter. I do like this meme. I'm going to share this more this weekend also. Alrighty, it's time for New Music Friday. And you know we're in the thick of the season from the beginning of April to the end of June. It's just albums every week. EPs, albums, all new music getting announced for the fall. All these things. Let's do a quick run through of the mandatory music you need to pick up and spin this weekend. I'm going to give you the band. I'm going to give you the genre. I'm going to give you the album title. I'm going to give you the label, and then I'm going to give you the genre. Okay? You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, action. Age of Apocalypse. Mortal Coil, closed casket activities for some alternative metal. And Oceans, great review on our website. The Regeneration Itinerary on Season of Mist for some experimental electronic symphonic black metal. Animalize, great name. Verminator on Dying Victims production, usually some French heavy metal. Balmog, Leao, War Anthem Records for some black metal. Brutal Sphincter, we ran that review today. Sphinx Earth Society on Time to Kill Records for some Belgian gore grind. Caesarean Valet, Umimin on Prophecy Productions for some heavy alternative metal. Shipang, the great grindcore band from Queens by way of India. Japa on Relapse Records for some Nepalese, they call it Immigrind or Immigrindcore. I love them so much. Cindy Talk, Camouflage Heart reissue for some post-punk self-released. Crystal Spiders, great stoner psychedelic doom band. Metanoia on Ripple Music for some heavy rock and as I said, psychedelic stoner doom. Degenerate, Rituals of Rage, self-released for some thrash melodic death metal. The Discussion, All the Pretty Flowers on Artifact Records, great new wave post-punk and goth music. Dwellers, Corrupt Translation Machines on Small Stone recordings for some progressive blues rock. Feed the Beast, Mercy, Futureless for some metalcore. Hellcrash, Inferno Crematorio, also from Dying Victims production, some speed metal. Hexarray, Realms on Sentient Ruin Records for some Finnish black metal. Holler. I don't have my glasses on. Next in line, Scarlet Records, hard rock. Next week, wear the glasses to do this part of the show or make the spreadsheet bigger. Pleaser. This is super cool. A lot of people were telling me they loved hearing it from this band. Begging Guitars on Part-Time Records for some Danish punk rock. Pellegrin, Al Macrois, Ripple Music for some heavy psych rock. Poison the Preacher, Verse the World on Seek and Strike Records, some thrash and hardcore punk. Pythia, V, Part 1 on Hallowed on Golden Axe Records, symphonic metal. Stena, Stranger to Love on Sharp Tone Records for some progressive metalcore. Silu, Ashikel, Texian, 10 on Nordvidus Productions for some dark acoustic folk. Skunk and Nancy, one of the best to ever do it, with their new hard rock album and sort of pop, catchy hard rock. The Painful Truth, kind of post-punk, kind of hard rock. Sports Team, boys these days, self-release for some indie rock. Thus Spoke Zarathustra, I Am Done with Self-Care on Prosthetic Records for some deathcore. Unmerciful Devouring Darkness on Willow Tip Records for some brutal death metal. TikTok, I'm trying to hang on to you. Witchcraft, the great legendary doom band IDAG on Heavy Psych Sounds. Great to have them back. Witch Rot on Soul Cellar for Fuzzed and Buzzed Records. Majestic Mountain Records for some soulful doom metal. Year of No Light, Le Maître Fou on Pelagic Records for some post-metal. And I think that's it for now. But there's probably a couple I missed. I don't know. Let me put myself back on the screen because I do this shit every week where I don't remember to put myself back. You watched this far. You made it to almost the end of the show at a reasonable 1 hour. I got to get out of town in an hour and a half. And I am not packed for the weekend yet. But I tend to pack quickly. This is your last chance. Give us a donation. Feel free to tip us. Ask some questions in the comments. I'm here to try to help. But it's time for the last section of the show, which is always the mailbag. And I have a very special and personal mailbag this week, since I did a very special episode with Keefe at the beginning about my health. And I've been yammering on about my health issues as I sip this agave nectar sparkling water. I got a new girlfriend. I talked about that. I'm super happy and in love and all the happy, fun, fuzzy feeling things. And she got me an awesome gift, and I wanted to share this gift with the world. This is not a paid sponsorship. I certainly would love an affiliate deal with them or some free shit from them. I've only had 2 of their products, different scent products, and they're phenomenal. If you are a guy, you don't want to be stinky, you want to smell nice, but you also don't want to be like disgusting when you enter a room and your odor of cologne or deodorant just overwhelms fucking people. I once had a girl tell me that my body wash smelled like pine sol. I think something was mentally wrong with her, not me. But Fable Beard Company, they also have a line of women's products also. This is for your beard care, washes, beard products, shampoos, deodorants, all kinds of things, body rubs, all things. And originally she got me the beard washes. She knows I take good care of my beard and I like smelling good. So she got me this scent, the gin, and this other one a few weeks back, like a month ago. This is Mystic Wood scented. And this is the Marksman. They have cool names like the Writer, the Bard, the Marksman. And so the Genie, the Gin. So the scent that I really like is the gin. The Marksman is my second favorite scent so far. And then in addition to these beard washes, one is at her house and this one's at my house. This is the Marksman. Is she sent me a gift of 2 more of their products in the scent that we both like the most. I got to tell you, it's irresistible to anybody. Men, women, they, them, whoever. So I got this deodorant, and I'm very particular about deodorant on my body. I don't use antiperspirants, and I don't like chemical-y stuff, so I use like a very basic white guy deodorant. But this is the Trickster Mist scent, a.k.a. the gin, and it smells amazing. It's mostly a beeswax product. Aluminum-free. It's got some shea butter, coconut, beeswax, and a few other fragrancy things that are organic and all natural mostly. And I've used this a few times. I don't sweat. It feels good. It smells great. It lasts all day. I walk to and from the Emperor show, and the Emperor show, there's some bad smelling people at the metal show. I was not a bad smelling person at the metal show. This is phenomenal. And then I don't really wear a lot of cologne in general, but I use this like body spray, cologne spray. Again, the Trickster Mist scent, the gin. Kind of smells like sandalwood, which is what some of my beard oils and my beard products are made from and made with. So I can't, again, this is not a paid sponsorship. Check out Fable Beard Company and their sister company, which escapes me right now. But you wanna smell good, you wanna be good, you wanna not put chemicals in and on your body if you can help it. I know coming from me that sounds wild, but it's true. And men, take care of yourselves, because You don't want to be gross. A lot of people out there don't know how to wash or clean themselves or whatever. And honestly, I'm embarrassed for other men. But anyway, that's the mailbag. And that means that's the show. And I had to get out of Dodge. So once again, there's the cue card. And just, you could spend this time with anybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and watching our show. It's Memorial Day weekend. If you've got a long weekend, celebrate. But please don't drink and drive. Please take care of yourselves. Take the keys from somebody who's too smashed to drive. Send them home in Uber. You can figure it out the next day. It doesn't matter. And as we say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world. So please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay as metal as humanly possible. And I'm going to dance a jig on the way out. Thanks for hanging with me. I really appreciate you. Peace and have a good one. Stay tuned to our socials for all my goings on at Bottle Rock Napa. Peace.